Hello, my friends. Hello, it's Matthew Street, and welcome to my channel. As always, I truly appreciate you being here. And folks, yes, this is probably part one of maybe two end of the year specials on the Matt Street channel. Yes, folks, I wasn't sure if I was going to do like an end of the year roundup, but I thought I might do a couple with a little bit of a different theme to each one. Now, I hope you'll stick with me and enjoy it as we celebrate the end of 2023. And what a year it's been. There's been a lot of ups and a lot of downs in 2023, let's be honest. But let's try to finish on a positive note with the music we love, which helps us get through the day. And that's what I'm going to do as we go into 2024. And let's keep our fingers crossed and prayers that 2024 will be a better year and a good year for all of us, happy and healthy. So, folks, to start with my first end of the year roundup video, I'm going to do what's called my Spotify special. Now, I know, I am with you out there. I love physical format music. Physical media is the way to go. It will always be my number one way to go, and I will never ever change my feelings on that. However, let's be honest, with today going into 2024 when technology, many of us, we're kind of dinosaurs in my age category, but I've learned to embrace digital media to some level, and especially digital music, because let's be honest, sometimes I can't put on a record album or a cassette or a CD. And so my only way of listening to music when I'm driving around for my job or driving on trips somewhere and whatnot, many cars don't have CD players or cassette or 8-track players anymore. So you have to stream it or, listen to it over Sirius XM or something like that. So unfortunately, that's the way we have to go. So I thought I'd start my first video with my digital information. Spotify is my way of streaming music. There are many different ways to do it, but I choose Spotify. Now, I like Spotify because at the end of every year, they give you your own personal report. Yes, they do. Believe it or not, they compile everything you've been listening to, the genres, your favorite songs, your favorite artist, how many minutes you listen to music on Spotify, everything. You can get almost every stat you could ever want from Spotify. So I thought I'd go over Matthew Street's Spotify stats with you today. And I thought you'd have a little fun listening to it. And I'll show you a couple of pieces of media I have that go along with some of these picks. Now, I thought I'd start out with my top 5 genres. According to Spotify, my number 5 genre was singer-songwriter music, which surprised me a little bit. I do listen to quite a bit of singer-songwriter music, but I didn't think it'd make my top 5, but it did. So that's my 5th one. And again, folks, this has nothing to do with any physical media I've listened to during the year. I listened to tons of albums, tons of CDs, and that's not part of this. This is just strictly Matt Street streaming Spotify. Okay. Number 4 top genre for Matthew Street in 2023 was modern day power pop. According to Spotify, I listen to a lot of modern day, newer power pop. And that didn't surprise me because I do. I'm always looking for new power pop. My friends recommend new power pop, and I'm into it. Number 3, and I didn't know this was a genre, but apparently it is. My number 3 genre on Spotify this year was Beatlesque music. Go figure. I guess that's a genre, Beatlesque. So stuff that sounds like the Beatles. Well, it makes sense because, I love the Beatles. My number 2 genre was classic rock. Okay, doesn't surprise me. I do listen to a lot of classic rock in my physical media, but I guess I did so on Spotify. And my number 1 genre on Spotify in 2023 was underground power pop. Totally makes sense to me. That could include everything from classic power pop to modern power pop to 80s, 90s power pop, I'm sure. So yeah, I figured underground power pop would probably be in the top there somewhere. Okay, so now let's look at some of my top songs, and then we'll look at top artists for 2023. Here's some honorable mentions that were just bubbling under the top 20, as it were. The song Alone With You by the Anderson Council. The song Kind Susan by Frederick Julius. The song She Don't Want to Be Alone by Kurt Baker. Driving Me Too Hard by the Rolling Stones was bubbling under. New York Tramp by the Midnight Callers, bubbling. Tragedy, which is an old 80s kind of rock song by an obscure band called Archangel. A-R-C, Angel. Tragedy. Who knew? Shimmering Eyes by the Rolling Numbers. Out of My Mind by Tommy Keene. She's Driving Me Crazy by the Rubinoos. Without You by Mark Ribler. Come Unto Me by the Mavericks. Phaedra by the Rubinoos. The band Fuzzbubble doing a song called Don't Let It Get You Down. I love that song. Don't Let It Get You Down by Fuzzbubble. I figure that'd be in there. I listen to it a lot. I Lied by Lord Huron. The Weakest Shade of Blue by the Half Cubes. My Before and After by Cotton Mather. Ecstasy Live by Raspberries. Back in Your Arms Again by the Mavericks. Okay, here's my top 20 songs I listened to in 2023 on Spotify. Number 20, 41 Miles to Roscoe by the Midnight Callers. Number 19, Now, a cover by Phil Seymour. Number 18, You Are the One for Me by the Babblers. Number 17, Burn Baby by L7. Number 16, Closer by the Midnight Callers. Number 15, She Can Do It All by Kurt Baker. Number 14, When Love Knocks You Down by the Tisberries. Number 13, I Don't Even Know Your Name by the Mavericks. Number 12, Down on Luck by the Midnight Callers. Number 11, Million Yard Stare by Sweet Nobody. Number 10, Get Up and Go, the Flash Cubes with David Payton from Pilot. Number 9, Angry by the Rolling Stones. Number 8, Girl on the Run by the Midnight Callers. Number 7, Born to Be Blue by the Mavericks. Number 6, Don't Go Falling in Love by Kurt Baker. All right, now here's number 5. Number 5 was Free as a Bird by the Beatles. So I'll show the top 5 best I can. Number 4, top song for Matthew Street this year was Step by the Midnight Callers. That is my number 4. Number 3 was Real Love by the Beatles. Number 2 song, 2023, that Matthew Street listened to on Spotify. I keep saying that. Now and Then by the Beatles. That was my number 2 song this year on Spotify. And my number 1 song on Spotify, top song for 2023, according to Spotify, I listened to it 72 times, is Baby Let Me Be by the Midnight Callers. So there you go. Now, and I'm almost done, folks. Here are my top artists of 2023 according to Spotify, not physical listening on vinyl or CD. All right, my number 5 artist of the year, according to Spotify, was the Rolling Stones. I listened to them the 5th most this year. My number 4 artist on Spotify this year was the Mavericks. They were my number 4 for 2023 on Spotify. My number 3 for 2023 was the Midnight Callers. My number 2 for 2023, and I know he came on strong, especially during the autumn, with a new reissue coming out, and I was really getting into his catalog again. I hadn't listened in a long time. And my number 2 this year, John Denver. Listened to him the 2nd most. I really banged out listening to some John Denver on Spotify. And my number 1 artist for 2023, top listening artist on Spotify, was the Beatles. Doesn't surprise me, folks. So that's it, folks. The Matt Street Spotify special end of the year roundup. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy New Year, everybody. And I'll be back for another roundup with another little twist to it. Love you all. Bye-bye.